Welcome to Always Remembered. I'm Mary. Today, we pause to remember and honor the extraordinary souls who left us, whose talent, passion, and dedication touched millions of hearts around the world. Join us as we celebrate their remarkable journey, and may their legacy continue to inspire generations to come. Andrew Jury first came into public view through his appearance on the debut season of Married at First Sight New Zealand in 2017. His time on the show introduced him to a wide audience and briefly placed him in the public spotlight. Legal circumstances and final days. In later years, Jury became involved in legal proceedings and was in custody while awaiting a court appearance. He was found unresponsive in his cell at Mount Eden Corrections Facility in Auckland, shortly before a scheduled hearing. Authorities stated that his death was not being treated as suspicious, and initial assessments did not indicate external involvement. The exact cause of death has not been publicly released, and official information remains limited. Public reaction and context. His passing prompted discussion in the media, largely because of his earlier television presence and the timing within ongoing court processes. It also led to broader reflection on well-being and support within custodial settings, though officials have not released further detailed findings. Closing note: Andrew Jury's death remains a private tragedy for his family and close circle. He is remembered publicly for his brief time on television, while the circumstances of his final days remain formally under review and not fully disclosed. Angela Bofill, Angela Thomasa Bofill, was born on May 2, 1954 in the Bronx, New York, and became one of the most distinctive voices in R&B, jazz, and soul music. Emerging in the mid-1970s, she built a career defined by emotional honesty, smooth vocal delivery, and a unique ability to blend genres in a way that felt both refined and deeply heartfelt. Her music carried a sense of intimacy and vulnerability, setting her apart in an era filled with powerful vocal talent. Songs like "This Time I'll Be Sweeter," "Angel of the Night," and "I Try" became defining pieces of her artistry, helping her build a loyal international audience that connected strongly with her expressive style. Over more than 4 decades, she released multiple albums and remained a respected figure in contemporary soul music. Her personal life included her marriage to Rick Vincent and her role as a mother to her daughter, Shauna Vincent. In later years, Bofill faced serious health challenges, including strokes that limited her ability to perform and appear publicly. She passed away in Vallejo, California, at the age of 70, with long-term health complications reported as the cause, though no specific official detail was publicly confirmed. Angela Bofill is remembered for her rich vocal tone, emotional depth, and lasting influence on R&B and jazz, leaving behind a musical legacy that continues to inspire new generations of artists. Floyd Vivino, widely known as Uncle Floyd, was a distinctive American comedian and performer whose style stood apart from mainstream comedy. He built a reputation for offbeat humor, improvisation, and a warm, unpredictable stage presence that connected with audiences in a very personal way. The Uncle Floyd Show. His most recognized work came through The Uncle Floyd Show, a low-budget program that began with a simple, playful format and grew into a cult favorite. Filmed in a small New Jersey studio, it featured sketch comedy, puppetry, and recurring characters like Oogie and Sludge the Turtle, creating a world full of imagination and spontaneity. Influence and audience. Although originally aimed at children, the show unexpectedly attracted adult fans, including comedians and musicians who admired its raw creativity. Its unpolished style and freedom from convention helped it stand out, proving that originality and heart could be more impactful than production scale or polish. Legacy and remembrance. Floyd Vivino passed away at the age of 74, leaving behind a legacy of creativity and joy. He is remembered for his commitment to making people laugh and his encouragement of young artists. His influence continues through the performers and fans he inspired across generations. Joe Don Baker, born on February 12, 1936, was an American actor known for his strong, grounded screen presence and straightforward acting style. He built a career portraying tough, often morally complex characters, bringing a sense of realism and weight to every role he took on. His performances were defined by restraint and intensity rather than excess, which made them feel authentic and memorable. Break through with a defining role. One of his most notable performances came in Walking Tall, where he played Sheriff Buford Pusser. The film resonated strongly with audiences, telling the story of a determined lawman confronting crime and corruption in his community. Baker's portrayal gave the character emotional depth and grit, helping establish him as a leading figure in action-oriented cinema and marking a turning point in his career. Range across genres. Baker's career also demonstrated notable versatility. In The Living Daylights, he took on the role of a villain, showing his ability to step into darker and more complex characters. Later, he returned to the James Bond franchise in GoldenEye, portraying CIA agent Jack Wade. In this role, he brought a lighter, more humorous energy, balancing charm with his signature toughness and proving his adaptability as an actor. A career built on consistency. Across decades in Hollywood, Baker maintained a steady and reliable presence. Whether playing heroes, antagonists, or characters in between, he approached each role with seriousness and commitment. His performances were not overly stylized. They were grounded, direct, and focused on character truth, which helped them stand the test of time. A lasting legacy. Joe Don Baker passed away at the age of 89, leaving behind a body of work that continues to be appreciated by audiences and film enthusiasts. His legacy reflects strength, authenticity, and a dedication to portraying characters with honesty. Through his films, he remains a lasting figure in the tradition of rugged, character-driven storytelling in cinema. Jay Leno was born in 1950 in New Rochelle, New York, into a working-class family where stability mattered more than comfort. His father worked in insurance, while his mother, an immigrant from Scotland, managed the home with quiet strength. The family later settled in Andover, Massachusetts, where Jay's childhood began to take shape under ordinary but demanding circumstances. School, however, was not easy for him. He struggled with dyslexia, which made reading and writing feel slow and frustrating compared to other children. While classmates progressed with ease, he often had to work twice as hard just to keep up. Teachers noticed his difficulties more than his effort, which made him feel out of place in the classroom environment. Yet even in those early years, he developed a quiet resilience, shaped by repetition, patience, and the constant need to adapt in a world that did not adjust for him. Humor as a way to cope. As school became increasingly challenging, Jay discovered that humor gave him something education could not: relief. Making others laugh helped him feel visible in moments where he otherwise felt overlooked. Instead of focusing on academic confidence, he began observing people closely, learning timing, reactions, and tone. Comedy was not initially a career goal, but a coping mechanism. When reading aloud in class felt intimidating, a well-timed joke could shift attention and ease tension. Over time, humor became a form of communication where written words failed him. At home, life remained modest but steady, and his parents encouraged persistence even when results were slow. These early experiences shaped his understanding that effort mattered more than perfection. The foundation of his personality was built not on instant success, but on learning how to stay engaged even when things felt difficult or discouraging. 3. Early independence and financial struggles. After finishing high school, Jay chose a practical path and attended Emerson College, where he studied speech therapy while quietly pursuing comedy on the side. Life in Boston during this time was financially unstable. To support himself, he took on multiple jobs, from working in auto shops to delivering food and handling manual labor. Comedy clubs became his training ground, but they offered little financial reward. There were nights when he had nowhere permanent to stay, occasionally sleeping in his car during harsh winters. These years were defined by exhaustion and uncertainty, but also by discipline. He learned how to balance survival with ambition, often performing late at night and working early morning shifts. Instead of discouraging him, hardship reinforced his commitment. Each difficult experience added to his understanding that long-term goals require patience and consistent effort, even when progress feels slow or invisible. First steps into comedy and persistence. Jay's early stand-up performances took place in small clubs where audiences were unpredictable and opportunities were limited. He often performed for minimal pay, sometimes only for exposure or experience. Reactions were mixed, and rejection was common, but he treated every stage as practice rather than judgment. Club owners and audiences did not always respond positively, yet he continued refining his material. Over time, he developed a strong work ethic rooted in repetition and observation. Instead of relying on inspiration alone, he studied what made people laugh and adjusted his delivery accordingly. Even difficult performances became useful lessons. Friends and fellow comedians noticed his persistence, even when success was not immediate. These years built the foundation of his professional identity, teaching him that consistency matters more than occasional applause, and that resilience often grows strongest in environments where approval is not guaranteed. Breakthrough moments and industry recognition. A turning point in Jay's career came when he began appearing on major late-night platforms, including performances connected to The Tonight Show. Working alongside established figures in television gave him exposure to a much larger audience. His style, shaped by years of club performances, emphasized relatability and steady delivery. While the entertainment industry was competitive, he gradually earned recognition for his reliability and strong stage presence. His early appearances showed that he could handle pressure in high-visibility environments without losing composure. Over time, this consistency led to more frequent opportunities. These moments did not instantly transform his career, but they placed him on a path toward long-term success. What distinguished him was not dramatic reinvention, but gradual growth built on preparation, timing, and an ability to adapt to different audiences without losing his natural comedic voice. Hosting The Tonight Show and professional discipline. Jay eventually became the host of The Tonight Show, a position that placed him at the center of American late-night television. The role required discipline, preparation, and constant creativity. Each episode involved writing monologues, rehearsing material, and staying updated on current events. His work schedule was intense, often beginning early in the morning and extending late into the night. Despite the pressure, he maintained a consistent presence that audiences came to rely on. Behind the scenes, he was known for his strong work ethic and preference for routine. Even as his popularity grew, he continued performing stand-up shows outside of television, believing that direct audience interaction kept his skills sharp. His career during this period reflected stability built on long-term effort rather than sudden success. He became a familiar figure in households, associated with routine, familiarity, and steady entertainment. Industry, competition, and public transitions. Jay's time in late-night television also included periods of public competition and industry tension, particularly surrounding hosting transitions. Decisions about hosting roles often drew media attention and divided audiences. These moments placed him in complex professional situations where public perception did not always match internal circumstances. Despite external pressures, he maintained a focus on work rather than conflict. When transitions eventually occurred, they were highly publicized, reflecting how closely audiences followed late-night television at the time. Through these changes, Jay remained active in comedy, continuing stand-up performances and other media appearances. Instead of stepping away from the industry, he adapted to shifting roles. His ability to remain professionally active through uncertainty demonstrated flexibility and endurance, even when public narratives around him became more complicated than the work itself. Health challenges and physical setbacks. Later in life, Jay experienced several significant health and physical setbacks, including accidents and injuries that required recovery and adjustment. These incidents marked a shift in his daily routine, making physical well-being more central to his lifestyle. Recovery periods required patience, medical care, and temporary pauses from regular work commitments. Despite these challenges, he continued engaging with public appearances when possible. The experiences also highlighted the realities of aging while maintaining an active career. Rather than stepping away entirely, he adjusted his workload and focused on balancing recovery with professional activity. These events reinforce the importance of long-term health management and careful pacing. Even as physical limitations appeared, he maintained involvement in projects that aligned with his interests, particularly those that allowed flexibility and creative engagement without excessive strain. Passion for cars and creative projects. Outside of television, Jay developed a deep passion for automobiles, which eventually became a major part of his identity. His garage evolved into a large collection of vehicles, ranging from classic models to modern engineering achievements. This interest was not purely about ownership, but about craftsmanship, restoration, and mechanical history. He often spent time working directly on vehicles, appreciating the technical and historical value behind each one. This passion later developed into media projects focused on automotive storytelling and engineering exploration. The garage became both a workspace and a personal retreat, offering structure and creativity outside of television. Through this work, he connected with engineers, designers, and enthusiasts, building a community centered around shared interest rather than performance or fame. It represented a quieter, more reflective side of his personality. Personal life, marriage, and caregiving. Jay's long marriage to Mavis Leno has been a central part of his personal life. Their relationship, built on mutual respect and shared values, has remained steady over decades. Mavis has been deeply involved in activism and advocacy work, particularly in areas related to social justice and education. In later years, her health challenges required increased care and attention, shifting their daily routines into a more supportive dynamic. Jay took on a caregiving role, balancing personal responsibilities with his ongoing work. This stage of life brought a quieter rhythm, focused on presence, patience, and consistency. Their relationship reflects long-term partnership rather than public attention, built on shared history and mutual support through changing circumstances. It also highlights the emotional realities of aging together and adapting roles within a long marriage. Legacy and life in later years. By 2026, Jay Leno's life reflects decades of continuous work, adaptation, and persistence. While his public schedule is lighter, he remains engaged in selective projects and appearances that align with his interests. His career is often viewed as an example of long-term consistency in entertainment, built on routine and discipline rather than sudden breakthroughs. Financially stable and professionally respected, he continues to focus on health, personal commitments, and meaningful work. His story is not defined by a single moment, but by sustained effort across many years, including successes, setbacks, and reinvention. In later life, his priorities have shifted toward stability and care, both for himself and his family. What remains constant is his connection to work, creativity, and responsibility shaped by a lifetime of experience that continues to influence how he moves through the present.